Welcome to Washington Dulles, and today we're going to be flying all the way from here in Washington DC over to Dubai in the UAE. This is a part of my greater journey over to Almaty in Kazakhstan. However, in today's video we're just going to be focusing on the first leg of this mammoth journey. I've flown between the US and Kazakhstan before, but last time I flew Lufthansa, which pretty evenly cut up the flight into two roughly 7-hour sections. However, starting off today's adventure, we'll be taking the Emirates A380 over to Dubai, which will be a giant 14-hour flight. The A380 we'll be flying today seats 491 passengers, so naturally the check-in desk was crammed with people trying to check their luggage. Following security, we then took the train over to Concourse A and had our last Chick-fil-A breakfast before heading to Asia. The morning at Dulles brings quite a few interesting international carriers in, all about to embark on lengthy flights similar to the one we'll be flying today. This Air India Boeing 787-8 is heading all the way over to Delhi in India. Next, this Qatar A350-1000 is heading out to Doha. Qatar now offer twice daily flights between Washington and Doha, which is pretty neat. And this Ethiopian 777 is heading out to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, but just arriving in was our ride for today. This specific aircraft is Alpha 6-Echo Oscar Echo, a 9-year-old Airbus A380 in the French Rugby World Cup livery, but also underneath this special livery it's sporting the upgraded Emirates titles with the red winglets. This gate is one of the A380 gates here at Dulles with the third jet bridge. This has been utilised by the Air France and British Airways A380s in the past, and this summer Lufthansa are due to start A380 service from Dulles to Munich. Once on board, I found my seats, and while no business class, I was pleasantly surprised with how much legroom there was. These Emirates A380s frequently fly an ultra long haul flight, so it's clear Emirates have paid attention to this and haven't cheated out on their seats. Following that, we pushed back and taxied out to runway 30. After takeoff, we were then given an amenities kit with some socks, a toothbrush and toothpaste. I feel like when I was a kid this was commonplace among other airlines like British Airways and Virgin Atlantic in economy, but now it just seems like one of the many things that boost the experience of flying an airline like Emirates. And then following that, the first meal of the flights was served, which contained a chicken and rice dish with salad, bread, butter, a salted caramel dessert and a beverage of your choice. After around 7 hours of flying, we entered the halfway point of our flight, which was over my home country, the UK. I wouldn't be back in the UK for another 4 weeks, so it was a very odd feeling being so close to home yet so far away at the same time. It was also at this point we were given a snack, and I chose the chicken tikka wrap. After that, night fell, and while I didn't get any of this on camera, we did have a passenger set off the smoke detector in the toilet in front of us, with the flight attendants finding a cigarette. It just goes to show, no matter how many times you say it in safety videos and PA announcements, there's always going to be someone stupid enough to try and smoke a cigarette on a plane. As we flew over Syria, the sun started to rise and we were served breakfast, which consisted of sausage, egg and mushroom with fruit, vegetables, bread, butter and a beverage of your choice. At this point, I have to say I'm very impressed with Emirates in economy. My longest economy flight before this was a 10-hour flight on United from Washington to Sao Paulo, and so I wasn't sure how I felt about a 14-hour flight to Dubai, but it really wasn't bad at all. The seats were comfy, we were well fed, and the views of Europe and the Middle East were absolutely amazing. Emirates have gained a huge reputation all around the world for being a premium airline, and this is usually associated with their premium classes, but I found that even Emirates in economy seemed to be a head above most other airlines I've flown on. Emirates currently operate the Boeing 777 and Airbus A380 with 133 777s and 116 A380s. However, Emirates have a huge number of new aircraft on order, with the Airbus A350 being delivered later this year and the Boeing 787 and 777X coming later in 2025. And as we came into land on runway 12 left, I still had another flight to catch over to Almaty in Kazakhstan. So you can join me in my next video where I'll be flying Kazakhstan's surprisingly good flag carrier. And so with that, I want to thank you very much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.